Conservative MPs are being urged to vote against the government tomorrow over who should foot the bill for key fire safety improvements following the Grenfell Tower tragedy. The House of Commons will consider a proposal to prevent the remedial costs for work like the removal of unsafe cladding from blocks of flats being passed to leaseholders and tenants. Sarah Corker reports now on the impact on those with disabilities living in potentially dangerous flats.
I've just built up a small, modest little life for myself, and the fact that that could be taken away from me is frightening.
For those with disabilities, the financial burden of Britain's cladding crisis has reached another level. Sarah's building in Birmingham is covered in dangerous material. Her share of the repair bill could be more than £50,000, and she's already spent a lot of money modifying the flat to meet her needs.
I can speak from experience that accessible housing stock is very difficult to come by. So the fact that I have invested in making adaptations to my home, to have somewhere safe to live and look after myself and be working as long as I can, ultimately I'm very frightened for my future. I don't know where I'm going to end up in a few years' time.
Until 8 in the morning.
And then there are the safety concerns. Sarah has a muscle wasting condition and will need help to escape in the event of a fire. The Grenfell inquiry recommended disabled people living in high-rise blocks should have emergency evacuation plans. That would help to protect more than 160,000 people.
Most disabled people do not have evacuation plans. At the moment, the government is reviewing its position on this. The fact that this is still on the table for discussion after Grenfell is shameful.
It doesn't matter how high the building is. If you're a disabled leaseholder, you need to be confident that you have an emergency route to safety. And you can imagine, if you're worried about your safety at night, the toll that takes on your emotional and mental health. So we really need some solutions urgently.
At the heart of this is the financial unfairness of it all. Many flat owners feel let down by the government, betrayed by developers, and are now being forced to pay for something that's not their fault.
Georgie has Tourette's and uses a text-to-speech device to communicate.
These buildings were built unsafe, and so no leaseholder should pay.
The timber cladding on her block in Manchester is a fire hazard, but because the building is under 18 metres, it isn't eligible for government grants, so Georgie could be forced to take out a long-term loan to cover repairs.
What financial impact is this having on you and your ability to pay?
I've been unable to work for many years, and being reliant on state benefits means it's impossible for me to access the sums of money needed. Each day I panic that a bill will arrive. Some people have had no choice but to declare bankruptcy.
The government says it is working with disability groups to improve guidance for evacuation and to set up a £5 billion cladding fund. But disabled flat owners like Georgie feel their concerns just aren't being heard. Sarah Corker, BBC News in Manchester.